Berserk chapter 384 was agonized for years, and it was that insane, telling us the truth of Guts' existence, that he's connected to the astral realm while also existing as a being outside of fate. Chapter 385 has big shoes to fill. It's the follow-up. This is the transformation that will lead Guts to the final battle with Griffith. It's gotta be perfect. And it was. All I have to say is this chapter was just such a perfect follow-up. My mind was just blown as I was reading. We open to this beautiful color page depicting the events of the last chapter. It's lined with the sentence, "The hour to know oneself comes again," highlighting that Guts truly knows the full truth of what he is. The first chapter depicts Daiba reacting to the inactivity of the stupa. He can seemingly sense Guts on the ground inside, assuming that he has failed. His panic speaks a lot to me, as it was kinda unclear what his goals with this whole situation were before. But now, I think it's fair to say he actually wanted something to happen to Guts, something I'd like to hope was good. But this seems to be a moment that everyone senses a shift in the air, all now staring to the entrance of this enlightened place. We shift to Guts inside, finally awake in the real world now. If he was in some part in the astral realm before, well, he knows he's returned to reality. Instantly, it's pretty apparent that the art on Guts is a lot more strong too. He's back to having that confident, rough face, rather than the despaired one we've been stuck with for a while now. It's just nice to see. But I gotta say, the real change begins on the next page. Guts looks to his hand, leaving us with the simple sentence, he can see it. Despite the darkness of the room, everything is bright to him. He then begins to stand in the darkness, and where there was resistance before, he can instantly stand up, even noticing the ripples in the water. He stands fully in the chamber, in confidence. It's bright around him, and all he states in this moment is, "So that's how it is." To me, this all screams to the fact Guts is more aware of everything, and more than that, he's okay with everything, shown perfectly with how receptive he is to his environment. In 384, Guts learned a whole new truth to himself, that truth seemingly being the final missing piece of who he is. This, with the womb imagery, led me to the idea that Guts has been rebirthed into his truest self, one who is aware of everything about himself, that he is not a being constricted by fate, and it has resulted in a Guts who has accepted the truth to himself. In this scene here, where darkness would normally drag him down, he can actually see. He can feel everything around him down to the ripples, and he can stand confidently. Everything that would be dark, perhaps infiltrated by the beast of darkness, is clearer than ever before, all because of the experience he's just went through. Guts has mastered his inner self, and all he can say is, "So, that's how it feels, that's how it is, it's him now." He acknowledges everything he has just learned, and the fact that he does it in a calm way speaks to what I believe is him accepting it. Guts instantly locks in with this, stepping forward, placing his hand on the door, and applying force. He's completely different than before, like his path forward is clear to him now. I also love that the art style reflects this. Guts has muscles again, and he's drawn with insane definition once more. He is back to himself, but in an even more powerful way. The art reflects this perfectly. Even though Guts should low-key be super weak and malnourished because he hasn't eaten, seemingly drank in a while now. Still, I'll let it slide because beautiful choice and it looks awesome and it means a lot, so yeah, still somebody feed this man. Outside, everyone begins to panic. It's gone from unsettling silence to the door being thrown to the floor. And soon, from the darkness, they witness Guts emerge. Again, I'm gonna point out, a very powerful looking Guts. In every page possible, it's trying to tell us Guts not only is back to being himself, but is definitely something even better. All at the Kushin are wary of Guts, though noticeably, Salat, who has seen Guts in every stage of his journey, is stunned, calling Guts the nickname that defines his fierceness, the Black Swordsman. He's back. It's just, oh, it's so good. I gotta point this out though, there is a clear focus on Guts' neck, specifically the brand, on this page. Keep it in mind for a second, as this isn't the only time this happens in this chapter. But everyone is shocked Guts has just appeared, blown open the door, and has done it in such a powerful state. Specifically Ishidro though. It's a really good moment for him. He was actually viewing a moment where his mentor could have gone. He could have lost it all. And this realization, well, hopefully it results in growth. It's your Guts, before everyone, does the most powerful thing so far, shattering the cuff with little force, crumbling it all on its own. And just, oh, I love this so much, I love it. Guts has been cuffed this entire time. It makes sense practically, he's just a prisoner with a lot of rage moments, whatever. But the fact that this ends him being cuffed, by the fact that they're not taken off, they don't just disappear, but rather he breaks them, it's clearly a visual nod to how he's broken into a whole new barrier. Everything that stopped him before, like cuffs are meant to do, is behind him and no longer can do anything to stop him. Guts is aware of it all. He said that's how it is now. He knows he can break fate, he knows he has connections to the astral world, and most of all, he's been rebirthed to say he's accepted this knowledge. His soul is finally as pure as that childlike Guts we saw in the womb scene. Breaking the cuff is breaking away from everything that stopped him in the past. It's just perfect. Oh, and a cherry on top I just thought about, he shatters them himself. It's not a sword, it's not a knife, it's not somebody else, it's him. I think it's a nod to how he's accepted every part of himself for once. It's here we get my favorite moment of the chapter. Puck, the light we've seen alongside Guts' darkness from the beginning, is visually stunned seeing him. There's no hesitation as he flies up to his friend, leading to this beautiful spread. Guts steps from the darkness of the stupa into the sun's light. Literally, of course, but the sunrise speaks of one more thing. The start of a new path where he's accepted his darkness. It's such a beautiful page that gets the point across perfectly. Though of course we have two things. Puck noticing something is up with Guts' brand, another focus on this, and him saying the biggest thing in this chapter. Guts is connected. Guts is connected. Connected to what I can only assume means Puck's world, the astral realm. This is our confirmation. This being who has literally been with Guts since chapter 1, knows him the best out of everyone here right now, says Guts has finally made it. I find it to be such a perfect full circle moment. It's like the astral element to Guts' life has always been there, just like Puck has always been there. It's just now that he actually accepts it. Also, we got yet another focus on the brand. It almost seemingly surprising Puck. I have no guesses for what this means. I thought on it for like an hour and I couldn't think why they made two panels just focusing on the brand. It was already had stuff drawn on it, already had magic on it before they went into the stupa, so it's not new. But we're definitely meant to notice something is different there. I just can't imagine it's something crazy like it being sealed up. So just let me know what you think. The chapter ends with Guts finally speaking aloud. Words of confidence, saying, "Let's go," leaving everyone in shock. He really has defied every expectation. The last page depicts the womb-like stupa from above, it appearing as a dead tree more than ever before. But I'd say it's imagery saying that Guts has served his purpose. He's been rebirthed and he's tied up like a tree in its roots. He's connected to everything. He really is back. This chapter was the most silent chapter in a bit, but it somehow managed to be like more loud than everything that's come before it. It's just the weight of everything. We're coming off an insane chapter, and we knew whatever happened here was going to be important, and it somehow seemingly is more important than I even expected it to be. Everything is telling us that Guts is here, he's been reborn, and he's finally that being ready for the end. I think it honestly might have been a better chapter than 384. My own interpretation of everything is that Guts is fully aware of everything. He learned he breaks fate, he now knows he is human and astral ties, and most of all, he's accepted this and what it means for himself. A central point of Berserk is the idea of bettering yourself. And a big part of this for Guts was accepting people can be a light to him. And I've always thought the final step to that has to be him accepting himself. An idea that ties perfectly into everything here, and of course, well, the Beast of Darkness. The story started with Guts and his struggle over that Beast of Darkness, and so it must conclude with the resolve of that struggle. Through this experience, Guts has accepted himself, calming the beast and allowing himself to see clear. Every part of himself is now one. He was rebirthed through the womb of the stupa, and now he is twisted together like the old tree covering the womb-like stupa. His entire being is together and ready for the end. I think if you take all of that and look to the breaking of the chain and the banging down the door, you can see it as he's going to tear open and break the chain of fate. It's time, perfectly symbolized by the sunrise as the doors open. The imagery says this really is the last point he needed for the end of the story, / his new beginning. Really reminds me of when Guts beat Griffith in the Golden Age. He was calm, content, perceptive, and the most powerful he's ever been, accepting everything with the proper confident demeanor before he faced a new path. I'm calling it now, this is about to happen again. We're gonna get a perfect parallel to that scene. But that's not it. While I don't have an answer for the brand, no matter how much I think on it, there are a few small things you can note about this chapter. Guts being able to see in the dark, notice things, just his overall perception and strength being better than it has in forever, may be a callback to what the Berserker armor does. While I already said I also think it represents how in tune and unwavered he is now, both can be true. The Berserker armor was harming Guts the more he used it, but it would now seem that some of those afflictions have left him, or at least they're bothering him less. It could be a nod to say that with coming to terms with it all, becoming this complete being, he has jumped the hurdle to master this insane armor, which would be perfect if we're heading into the endgame. I also like the idea of an amped up Ichijiro and Puck. Both would without a doubt be part of the end, and I hope this means it'll be in a big way. Not to mention Daiba. I was unsure on him for a while, but I think I've concluded that he thinks Guts is a good big force he needs to help, and so he brought him to the stupa to, well, get him to a good point again. Finally, Puck confirms that Guts is immersed in astral energy to a feelable point. He can actually notice it, and so I can't help but think of when he tried to strike Griffith. That was a sword covered in astral energy, but a man who never even considered himself in that world. Yet I bet that's changed in a big way now. There's no way that sword doesn't hit if he finds himself in that scenario once more. But where do we possibly go from here? I personally hope we see an extremely present and ready Guts. One that really contrasts that half-alive skeleton-like Guts we've been dealing for a little bit now. Guts is a character that has grown a lot through actions rather than words. Think like, as I just said, him beating Griffith the first time, or like him saving Casca. His biggest moments of growth have come from what he's done. And so if we start to see him as this almost completely different character, one that is obviously very different, then I think that would speak volumes to how much this event changed him in a good way. As for powers wise, I think we obviously are going to see a new form or just a more mastered form of the Berserker armor. One that maybe isn't harming him anymore and one that he has fully mastered. I mean, it just makes sense if I assume he's accepted everything, including the Beast of Darkness. I think it's pretty cool and, well, inevitable at this point. They know the fans want that, they're probably gonna just give it to us. Maybe the arm and the eye will come back too, even though I'm not the biggest fan of that idea. Maybe they'll do it. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about chapter 385. Continuing a run of just amazing chapters. I swear, ever since Rakshas came down to that, like prison cell a couple chapters ago, I've been in love with what's going on with Kouji, Mori, and Studio Gaga's Berserk. Though this chapter I think says one really big thing, whether or not you agree with me on my ideas or whatever, I think we can agree on one thing. We really are nearing the end. This is seemingly a bridge of chapters to get us to that point. It's the final introspection, awakening moment we're gonna have before it all goes down. I don't know how else to say it, but we are there. But yeah, this is the end of the video. I do have a big Berserk playlist. It'll be linked towards the top of the description if you want to see some of my other Berserk videos and you're new here. Of course, if the next chapter is cool enough and I think I have enough to say, then I will do a video on it. I'm kind of touchy on doing chapter reviews because I like to make longer videos, but who knows, we'll see what 386 brings in 2 weeks because it's only 2 weeks away. But with that, thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and bye bye.
Straight from Japan, Christ flexed up, honey berry Kouji sweater, sauced up, shawty, can't nobody do it better. I can feed the reds, crank the air conditioner, max AC, jerking fruits.